Hello everyone, guten Tag, and welcome to Bronze tonight. Then for round two of the Bronze Championship, and we are tonight at the Corniche circuit here in Saudi Arabia, and day three of this action-packed circuit as well. Looking forward to this. Too good to miss. I think Winnie will be coming in just a jiffy, as I think he's running late, judging from what I've just seen from Far from Smithy Almighty. Anyway, hello. This is going to be a cracker, isn't it? Tonight, though, we have two reserves in. Jay Higgs, who was very quick last time out, but once again, he's reserved for the Alfa Romeo. It seems like his full-time seat at the moment, isn't it? And of course, we have also got reserve in. I've read it a minute ago, but I've forgotten who it is. Shocking. Luke, that's it. Luke in the Alpine as well. But that means that Dr. Troops, who was incredible in the opening race just a week ago, leading the championship at this very, very early stage, I must say, will not be participating in tonight's race. And so this is going to get very interesting indeed then. So yes, hello. I cannot wait for this. This is going to be good. 27 turns around this course, and it is quite a long course. Only 25 laps in the Grand Prix itself, but it is fast, frantic. It is the fastest street circuit on the Formula One calendar, and possibly one of the most difficult ones to get right. Then, thank you very much to our new subscribers. Then, they are, which I've wrote them down somewhere, and I've forgotten where they are. Oh, there they are. Which is Richard Glover then, which I think is a Smithy Almighty's friend then, so he's going to be cheering on Smithy tonight then. Hopefully Smithy has a good race there. I'm sure this was one of his best results last season, wasn't it, after Farfin Dan Murphy decided to cause all havoc on the final lap. And thank you very much to Martin Treewin as well, who's also a new subscriber as well. I really appreciate that, guys, and very, very good stuff indeed. And I think that we've also going to get a new is it a new join button or something on ALR soon, which is really cool to see as well. Vestier, hello, good evening to you, Vestier. Dynamo Dan, hello, DRS assisted for this one. We have also got Kaz, and good luck, drivers. Then I wish I was racing. We wish you were racing too, Kaz. Hopefully you'll be racing sometime this season. Luke, I'm back. Then of course Luke will be driving for the Alpine side. Who I gotta say, Alpine are in a rich run of form in the Bronze Championship. I must say they are anything they touch turns to gold, not blue to gold, I say. And we've also got Coop. Let's go Bronze then. Good stuff indeed then in the also let me quickly give a shout out to Vintage. Happy 50th Grand Prix start for Vintage tonight, which means that he is the most, I think he was already the most capped driver in Bronze history, but now he is on his own anyway. So happy 50th start tonight for Vintage here in Bronze, and cracking stuff indeed. He's done a lot more races in ALR as a whole, but tonight in Bronze is his 50th Grand Prix start. And also on Sunday, I forgot to mention, it was also Nigel's 90th start in ALR Gold, so the first ever world champion of ALR. Guys, 90th start on Sunday, so happy 90th to Nigel as well. Be it, I don't think if you remember this that race there very fondly indeed. I get my headset all sorted, and then as soon as I start moving my head, it starts to slip off my head then as well. As we're just watching Itemize how they come through the first sector. Of course, the curbs are slightly raised, don't they, on this game, which I think's good. Which I think is good then, which I know some drivers don't think it's good, but I do love it. Kaz, do you know how many... I'll be back soon. That's fantastic stuff indeed. Then, yeah, we'd love to see you back, Kaz. How many race starts has Kaz had in Bronze? You have 21 starts you do, Kaz, in Bronze. Then, of course... and with only 2 DNFs there, which is absolutely fantastic stuff there for Kaz. Of course, that is only just Bronze, though. That is not That is not Kaz. Oh, I love that helmet from Mighty Martin. That is absolutely exquisite. That is not Kaz's overall starts in the LR. I don't know how many they are because I only do it by per league because, yeah, because it just ruined my spreadsheet. Right, coming across the line is Item to start us on our way here in qualifying. 4 minutes has gone in this qualifying session as well as the Scuderia, who really have struggled to open their account in the joint constructors. Up until Sunday, I've forgotten what happened last night. It's because I was watching Silver in bed, because I'm a lazy so-and-so. But great race last night, it really was indeed there. Silver had 2 really good races, haven't they? Really good stuff indeed then. Just watching Slayer has gone fast there by half a second there from Itemizar. Mega lap right from the get-go. Marski there just crawling, and Higgs, let's go with Higgs said, who's currently gone fastest into 28.2s so far. Good stuff indeed then. Here's the 50 man. It is vintage there in the Alpha Tari on the only driver on medium compound tires at the moment, and we'll see how that one shapes up. Then we have got New Potato, who has abandoned his time here, so he was on a lap then, but he's decided to call it a day. Swanshanks, happy 50th vintage. I don't think Swanshanks is too far away from 50 either. I think he's on like 40 something. Dynamo Dan there going fastest by 2/10 of a second. The last season's runner-up. It's Sarah Smusher. Evening. Kaz, happy 50th. Thanks for the info. No worries, my good sir. I'm very much. I'm only here to chat spreadsheets, and that's about it, to be honest. And also talk about my dinner as well. I haven't really got much to talk about for my dinner, unfortunately. I had a ham sandwich. Duncan Dave gone a second and a half up in the first split time. What about Smithy Almighty in the McLaren Mercedes car? 9 Smithy Almighty is there. He has stolen Marcus Ericsson's number, hasn't he? There. Shame on Smithy, but we're on board with him now in the McLaren Mercedes. Let's see what he can do then as he comes into the chicane then. Talking of, let's talk about the drivers and the constructors, shall we? For this is as it stands. TK's gone fastest there. First driver into 27 is magnificent stuff indeed. As it stands from gold on Sunday, because Silver, there's still a couple more things to be decided in Silver in terms of the race review, and of course the incident post does not close until 9 p.m. But as it stands at the moment there for the joint constructors, it is the Alfa Romeo team that is leading very early on then. 6 points in front of the Mercedes team. Then we got the Red Bull team currently 19 points away from the Mercedes at the moment. Here comes Smithy across the line, going 5th faster than the McLaren. Lovely jubbly. What about Nudi's had an issue there. Sick as muck there. There's an Alpine scampering off the circuit. And goodness me, sick as muck and Luke, I'm not sure if they were a bit too close for comfort there, but that's not going to help either of them there. And Luke is just behind another. Both on quick laps at the moment in the Aston Martin and Alpine cars. Remember, Alpine there very much in a rich run of form at the moment, aren't they? Superb stuff indeed there for the Alpine team. Really absolutely fine vessels. We've got a bit of racing going on here in qualifying. But contact there between now more contact between Luke and Sick as Muck. I was not expecting any of that kind of stuff in qualifying, but golly gosh, it certainly has spiced things up in this qualifying. And Sick as Muck is going to be a very unhappy chappie in the Aston Martin. Dynamo, who's out? I think that someone's just popped themselves up the order there. Dynamo down in second, where Slayer has moved himself up in the third position at the moment. Duncan Dave, good lap from Duncan Dave in the Williams machine. He is currently in 4th fastest at the moment. I don't know why I keep saying machine at the moment. It's really annoying me. I said it a couple of times on Sunday. Here comes Swanshanks in the Aston Martin. Let me carry on with the comment, shall we? Sarah's Rusham, happy 50th vintage. Put in a good race at Swanshanks. Evening from brother. Good evening to you, brother. Did Sean say he's here to spread cheeks? Wow, goodness me, I would never say that. Well, especially not on a Tuesday. Good gracious me. It's past the day. Right, we've got Swanshanks on a lap at the moment. Going back to the joint constructors. We got the Haas team currently in 4th position at 6 points away from the Red Bull team. Alpine are 5th. 6th position is the Williams team. 7th is the Alpha Tower. Of course, remember they were dominating in the joint constructors last season, only 7th at the moment. Ferrari in eighth position in the joint constructors on 27 points. McLaren on 26 points, and Aston Martin, we're on board with the Aston Martin now, but Aston Martin, as of last night, have only scored once in their 4 races, and that was actually on Sunday night then, courteous of Equals, I think it was. Aston Martin have had an absolute nightmare start to the joint constructors. 4 points then from the opening 4 rounds is pretty appalling. It really is indeed then. But what can Swanshanks and Sick as Muck do tonight then? Sick as Muck has improved slightly, but remember, we did see him do a pirouette into the final turn, and Kiki joining late then, but let's see what he can do then for Kiki in the Alpha Tower then. Of course, the constructors in every championship last season, apart from Bronze. Of course, at the moment, Dr. Troops is leading the World Championship, 7 points in front of Vestier in second at the moment. Great comeback drive from Vestier last week. Slayer in third position, solid from Slayer with New Potato fourth, Dynamite Dan fifth, TK 6K, Serious Mushroom seventh, Marsky 8th, Kiki 9th, and those are the runners that scored in the Construction Championship. Alpine are leading 7 points in front of Red Bull. I'm not going to say anything more than that because it's as it was from the opening race in Bahrain. Kiki going 9th fastest at this moment in time then. Good stuff indeed there. Last week's pole sitter was, if I remind myself, was Dr. Troops, wasn't it there? So hopefully, so we will have a new pole sitter tonight then, and that will be a Red Bull. And at the moment, it is Vestier with 8 minutes to go then. Alfa Romeo just getting out of the way. Vestier currently on pole position, and can he take lead in the World Championship, especially with Dr. Troops, who made a huge statement last week. An absolute, that was a statement of intent now from Dr. Troops. I must admit, I sold the man a bit short then. I was probably looking at him as a rookie, but my word, that he drove supremely well in Bahrain last week, didn't he? Dr. Troops did, and really made a statement of intent in the Bronze Championship, didn't he? Vestier, though, remember, he made a statement of intent in the final race of Abu Dhabi last season, didn't he? So, we'll see how that one transpires, as Higgs has gone at 4 fast in the Alfa Romeo. He's drove for the Alfa Romeo twice this season. He was meant to be Brooksy in that seat, but he has not raced yet. I'm not sure if it's 3 strikes in a row, then, but Brooksy's got one more chance in Australia. Goodness me. I'm wondering, but I don't know the full shebang of that then, to be fair, because, yes, yeah, anyway. Enough to say about that. Right, Vintage Head at the moment, we're going to be seeing a lot of vintage tonight. I reckon we should celebrate. Vintage's achievements. Good stuff indeed. Let me crack on with the comments then. Mushroom, will you touch the track in quality today? Yes, about to. Serious Mushroom. Then we don't see Mushroom out normally in qualifying then, so this is going to be a very rare phenomenon indeed, isn't it? Yellow flag then at the final part of the circuit. We're not too concerned about yellow flags in qualifying, mainly because usually drivers get out of the way. Like there's a Williams that's parked right out of the way then for one of the Mercedes to get by. Wasn't sure who that was then. I think it's probably Winnie, because that's the only Mercedes on track at the moment. As we're just watching vintage Fred the Yardy Needle there. Luke is not happy about Six Muck holding him up then, and I think that looks like both of them did trip over each other, and Six Muck did get spun around as well. So I think Six Muck may have something to say about that as well then. But action already in qualifying here in Bronze tonight. What else we got then? This will be my highlight today, and hope we can get into the top 10. 50 points for Vintage if he wins then. Sean, Mushroom on track. Catch this point of view. Yes, we shall. But we just finished in Vintage's point of view first, and there it is. 8 fastest. Good stuff indeed there. Serious Mushroom is out on track at the moment. He is coming up to the second intermediate split time now. What about Winnie? He's at the beginning of the lap, and I think that we've also got Alibi also at the beginning of the lap as well. So I'm going to stick with Serious Mushroom. Currently, this is a very rare phenomenal, as we've heard in the comments, said Serious Mushroom on track with the beautiful. I love these helmet designs. They're fantastic. And Serious Mushroom now going through turn 22 and 23, which I should have tracked the trap map before starting. Shocking behaviour. I'll get there eventually. Luckily, we're in Australia next week, aren't we? So I don't struggle with Australia too much because there's only 14 turns on that course now. They've even lowered it down for me. It used to be 16. Now it's only 14. 14, not 40, goodness me. Coming to the line then for Cirrus Mushroom, his first qualified performance, and in 9th fastest there for Cirrus Mushroom in the Alfa Romeo. The last game we're going to hear the name Alfa Romeo, of course, unless they take over another team then. Alibi into the pits then. We've got Sick as Muck still on the medium compound tyres out there at the moment. Luke all the way down in 14th position there. Again, hold up in the first lap, and this second lap has not really been too impressive either. Unfortunately, he's invalidated. TK is a 10th for a second up in the first split time. I'm not sure how that's worked out, because the split time is not actually until the hairpin at the far end of the circuit. So maybe we'll take that with a pinch of salt then. New Potato, we're not taking this with a pinch of salt then. Here is the first ever bronze champion back in season 1. Coming up to the line now for the Ferrari. Then New Potato finished 4th, I think, last week. And he is now fastest by 2/10 of a second. These times are redonkulous, aren't they? My word there. And I got to say, that's really impressive times there, because it just shows how incredibly close bronze and silver is, doesn't it? Just in terms of overall pace. And Slayer has invalidated his time, unfortunately. We've got an Aston Martin coming across the line then. I'm just seeing who else on the lap. Cirrus Mushroom crawling back to the pits. Itemizer our 3/10 of a second up in the first split time. Here's Winnie, also threading the eye of the needle as well. Who's in front of there's a bit of a I think there's a bit of a squirm there for Winnie in the Mercedes-Benz car. Yellow flag in front of us. Do not worry about that, because Winnie, I think, is on a lap then, but albeit he has ran out of ERS here, so he's going to be well down on power. Remember that the ERS is quite a powerful tool then, and I think that Winnie is coming into the pits. He is indeed. And that might be, well, he's got 3 minutes. So he does have a bit of time in his piggy bank here. Here's Marsky. Marsky just about to finish his lap then. He's currently down in 15th position, though, Marsky is, and I think he would like to be nearer the top 10 if possible. Possibly in the heart of the top 10 as well for the Haas. More nearer his teammate. That's much better for Marsky. Found a second on that lap. Great stuff indeed. And Itemizer, very similar. Found a second as well, and moved himself up into 8th fastest there. Smithy Almighty has just finished his lap. Cirrus Mushroom has done a lap. He's had enough, and he's back in the pits. And that's it. I went out too much fuel. Damn it, there, Cirrus Mushroom. We've all done it, to be fair. We've all got out with so much fuel on the car. But Cirrus Mushroom, great innings there. That's his first qualified lap in donkey's years, I'm sure of it. Alpha Tauri and Williams in front of us at the moment. And let's see if that Williams is starting a lap. It is Duncan Dave who is just starting a lap. There's an Alpha Tauri just in front of us. I think that is Kiki who's invalidated his time, so he's going to have to go around again here. So that's Kiki then, who was just started up. Swanshanks into the pits and down in 16th position. Both Aston Martins, as I've mentioned, then it's been a difficult start in the joint constructors, and I think they finished 2nd or 3rd in the joint constructors last season. Well, not a good start at all this season, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Slayer is in the pits then as well then, so he's had enough of his lap. Vessier is about to get going, and I'm meant to be looking at his teammate, and there he is then. So Alibi out of the follow turn then to start his lap then, as the end of qualifying is counting down quite vigorously here tonight. Alibi is starting his lap now. Scooby Stew has, I think, has done his best. Is doing his Cirrus Mushroom impressions tonight, then, as he has not set a time. Kiki attacking that curve, thank goodness me. Swanshanks in 60th position, and that's the highest he's going to start tonight. Then, as we're on board now with Kiki. I love that helmet design. I'm trying to work out, is that lock-on helmet he's got on there? Goodness me, that's fantastic, you know. Love it. Here is, what about Jay Higgs? I think I need to keep an eye on Jay Higgs coming across the line. He is starting his lap now. Alpine in the background is also starting his lap. I didn't see who it was. I think it might have been Luke then, who's had a bit of a messy qualifying session to start us off tonight. As we got a Ferrari going off then. Alibi, I think, has invalidated his time. Has he got enough time to get around there and to put another lap in? I'm not sure. It's going to be quite close here. I think I've missed one of the drivers that completed a lap. Duncan Dave, and it's one more shot for Duncan Dave, and that is it. It's going to be all or nothing now. Here's Winnie across the line. Winnie is, I think, also starting his lap or finishing his lap. I think he might have abandoned his lap and gone again. He's on 14th at the moment now. 8 seconds to go then. That is it then. And we are not going to have any more new lapped runners then. So this is it. It's all or nothing now. New New Potato currently on pole position then for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Alibi didn't have enough time, unfortunately. The checker flag is out. Alibi is on row 10 here, and that is a disappointing indeed. There's an Alpha Tauri coming down over the grid hatch as well. Vintage on his 50th start is in 7th position there. Great stuff there for Vintage. A great qualifying as well then. Sick as muck, his first lap on the soft tyres, and coming to the line then, Sick as Muck stays in at 17th position. I'd be a bit disappointed with that, Serious Mushroom. Sorry, Sick as Muck then, because I thought it'd be a bit higher up than that. Higgs has gone at 4 fast, and the Alpine behind us then. Who is that then? That is Luke, who's made his way up into a very fine 6th position then in the Alpine car. He'll be happy with that then for himself and for the Alpine. We've got a Red Bull out there. Vestier, it's not enough, unfortunately. Vestier had a poor final sector and will stay on the front row of the grid. Dynamo Dan has currently gone at 4 fast, and he's on the second row of the grid now. We have got TK. Can he get a pole position? He's got 14 already in his career, I think. Maybe 10, actually. I need to reread the script, potentially. Out of the final turn, and we've got Mercedes out there as well. And I think that's Woody just finished off his lap. TK also in the pits as well. And I think that's done and dusted, isn't it? Yeah, Kiki also in the pits as well as TK. And that is it for qualifying. But it is pole position for Nude Potato in the Ferrari, and he'll be happy with that then, won't he, from Nude Potato? That will be Nude Potato's 7th pole position of his career. Magnificent stuff indeed, and that will be his first of the season, if I'm not very much mistaken, and I'm not, of course, and so good stuff indeed there for Nude Potato. Now, 0.2 of a second, pretty decent margin in the end in that qualifying session. Great stuff indeed. Vester is alongside him on row 1. Then on row 2 we have TK and Dynamo Dan. Then we have Higgs, a super sub at the moment for Alfa Romeo in third. And it is an all sub row 3 here with Luke in 6th position as well, and the Alpine then. Slayer in 7th position. I think I've just seen a comment about Mr. both final runs at 3/10 up. Not a good quality for Slayer in the heart of midfield, but he's alongside Mr. 50 Vintage. 9th is Marsky with 10th is Item Izard. That is the top 10 for qualifying as we proceed to the Grand Prix here in Saudi Arabia. Right then, as we get onto the race itself, and you can see that it's a very grey overcast there, very grey up there, but I think that is just the sky turning in tonight here in Saudi Arabia. Serious Russia. Don't forget, no warm up lap or formation lap. Oh, isn't there a formation lap? Oh, goodness gracious me. I hope there is, because otherwise I've got no time to go for the grid. And to be fair, I did not even realise that there is no formation lap for the first 30 seconds of Gold, which is quite shameful, to be honest, isn't it? I was absolutely embarrassed about that when I was watching it back. Goodness me, shocking behaviour. It really was indeed. That it's probably because I didn't have me pork pie for tea, maybe. Right then, as hopefully I would like to see a formation lap then, but it was just waiting for the drivers to get going then, and all that stuff that Total Wolf was talking about, where we haven't got extra garages in for that 11th team, which has been ruined about in F1. Well, that's poppycock, because there's a garage there, isn't there? So there we go. As you probably, any of you regular viewers know, the real world of Formula 1, I am very unhappy about the F1 teams that are not throwing their toys out of the pram, so to speak, because of this 11th team thing. Of course, I think F1 should have more teams personally. I think they should have at least 12. But there you go. Anyway, that's a moan for another day, I think, isn't it? 25 laps around here. This is going to be cracking then. Luke then, P6, not bad for Sonu, has never touched this track on this game then. So Luke is very happy with that. We're on board with Luke's teammate Scooby Stew, who's currently 20th on the grid. Let's go through the grid then. So if there is a formation lap for Serious Mushroom, he is not too happy about that. I think he was raring to go, wasn't he, Serious Mushroom? So let's go for the grid. We go from back to front then, like what Knowles did last night, because I quite like that. Apparently High Tech and Andretti have been accepted into F1. If they have, Luke, you're going to be my favourite man ever, because I really want to see the grid expanded. I don't like this close. I sound so serious now, don't I? I don't like this closed shop of F1 being franchised and stuff like that. Yes, I do understand not everyone could be on the Formula 1 grid. Of course, you don't want to have teams like 40. No disrespect to 40, turn out being 7-8 seconds off the pace, or the Lola team from '97. It was 11 seconds off the pace at one stage. God, oh gosh. But I don't. High Tech and Andretti, two teams. High Tech has got a team in Formula 2, 3, and 4, so they do know something about motor racing. And Andretti have put so much work into their bid. I do feel that they did it. But anyway, yeah, we may talk about that later on the race then, or be it, I think a lot of you guys out there don't want, guys and girls out there don't want to listen to me rattle on about yesteryear in Formula 1 and how we need more teams. We should be talking about here and now, shouldn't we? So I apologise, that's me off on a rant then. It's Tuesday, what can I do? Right, soft tyres then for Scooby Stew, for Winnie, for Kiki, Smithy Almighty, and Vintage. Hard tyres for Jay Higgs, Slayer. Everyone else on the medium tyres. Scooby Stew, 20th. Alibi, 19th. Styles, 18th. Sickers Muck, 17th. Swanshank, 16th. 15th is Winnie. 14th is Mushroom. 13th, Duncan Dave. Kiki in 12th position. 11th position, Smithy Almighty. Itemizer in 10th. Marsky, 9th. Mr. 58. 7th position, Slayer. Luke, 6th. 5 Higgs. 4 Dynamo. Third is TK. Second is Vestia. New Potato has messed up his grid slot then. So is TK as we're about to get going for Saudi Arabia. Round 2 at the World Championship. And I've got to calm down. But not yet, because we haven't started the race yet, have we now? But as now we've got the same camera that Nosey had last night, didn't we? Which is not very good, is it then? But the lights are out. We got a blue flag for some reason. Here we go. And it's a safety car. Well, we got a safety car right from the get-go here, and that's not good, is it? So we've got a safety car right from the get-go, so we're basically going to have a rolling start here. I'm wondering what is going to happen here, but yes, that's been a very anticlimactic start here. We have had a safety car, no racing, and what is going to happen here? Are we going to there's a 5-second penalty for Duncan Dave. I don't think he's noticed about the safety car here. So there's a couple of drivers then. Swanshanks is up 5 positions there. I think they'll have to get those positions back, but a safety car straight from the get-go. I've seen where a red flag is, where you get a safety car right from the get-go after a red flag, but not on a full start here. Luke, what is this game then? Slayer also saying, what is going on then? 5-second penalty for Kiki as well then, as, safety car right from the get-go here, and, Brabbit is, what the hell, safety cars happen almost immediately. We're not sure why there's a safety car, and that is probably ruined quite a lot of drivers' races there with the 5-second penalty, but we'll see how this one goes then. No restart unless the admin of the lobby said so. So yes, do not leave the lobby unless Knowlesy tells you to. So safety car out at the moment. Lap 1 out of 25 here. We're going to play it as we go. Let's see then. Let's see how this one transpires. But that was a very unusual start, wasn't it? We've gone from Sunday where there was no formation lap, which caught me unaware. I was finally aware tonight, and there's a safety car out then. So shocking behaviour. I'll get there eventually. We didn't get off the line as a restart, surely. We'll see how that one transpires. No restart unless the admin says then. So at the moment, we're on lap 1 out of 25 here. There's a couple of drivers then that has penalties at the moment. Those will be reviewed after the race by the admin, I'm sure of it. But let's see how this transpires first. But anyway, the safety car is going to be out then. I'm wondering then if anyone is going to maybe maybe roll the dice here and come to the pits. It's a very unusual. This would not have been on the start plan for any drivers out here. That is surely, they've surely probably been absolutely dumbfounded by this then. I've got to say, we've had a safety car starts in the past in real Formula 1, but never in an ALR race. So this is a very unique turn of events in here tonight. We'll see how this one transpires, and I'm hoping it's we can we can get the safety car and we'll be restarting it. And look at this, Scooby Stew started at the back of the field then on soft tyres. He has now used 2 types of tyres, Scooby Stew has here, and he is now coming out of the pits. And let's see then. How did Mushroom lose 5 positions there? I'm not sure, to be honest. I think they were saying, I'm surprised that I still don't even know how Swanshanks has moved up 5 positions there, and he's not even been given a penalty, so I'm a bit dumbfounded by that as well. Goodness gracious me. Anyway, Scooby Stew has just made his stop here. He's on medium tyres now, and I remember Forest medium tyres last night. They were very much well past there at South by date, weren't they? Forest tyres, so I think it was like 83, weren't they, in the end there? Shocking stuff indeed. That's so much. I thought I got DQ'd safety car with the safety car glitch. Then luckily no one's got DQ'd yet. Then, but there are a couple of drivers and it does have 5-second penalties. Then, right then, hopefully we'll get going in just a jiffy. Then, but a safety car restart. Safety. It's been a rolling start basically here in Saudi Arabia. The first time ever in ALR, albeit very unusually. Maybe Knowles, he didn't want any first lap crashes and called out the safety car straight away. Potentially. Then, if that is the case, we'll have to boo that man, won't we? Right, we'll hopefully the safety car will be lights will come off then, and we'll be racing then. But I think that was the next chance to see if the safety car comes in, because in Bahrain we had to split the race up into 2 parts. Safety car's in, and I have lost my tongue. Mates, hands on the wheel, please. Yes, Serious Russia needs to get those hands on this steering wheel, because we're about to get racing here in where are we? Saudi Arabia. Berman Landers had enough. He wanted to lead the opening race. He's done that. Very unusual start here in Saudi Arabia. But now we're racing then. So we had basically a rolling start in bronze, the first time ever in ALR, and we're going across the line as well. New Potato leads. Vessier in second position. Third is TK. Dynamite that in fourth. Luke is challenging Higgs going into turn 1. And let's see how this one goes then. They should always Vintage so had to steer out from Jake the Slayer, but he's out 8th position. But that Ferrari's on the inside. Slayer's had to get back out there because he's going to be squeezed, and Vintage up in his 7th position there. No, yes, he's back down to 8th now then, because Itemitar's moved up 3 positions. Itemitar's up 3, but he's scampered off the circuit there. Oh my word then, and now we got 3 positions out. Itemitar is good stuff indeed, with Vintage all over the back then. Look at that gap, it's a 2.5 already, but Vintage all over the back then. He's fired up tonight, and TK has lost out to Vessier. Vessier is now down into, for goodness gracious me, what's going on here? And Luke is up the inside. He has passed Dynamite Dan and moved himself up into 4th position. And no, he hasn't. He's back down into 5th here, into the chicane as well. And New Potato leads out by a 2.5, and whilst there's a drama behind him. Oh my goodness gracious me, Vessier's having none of that, and he's coming back at him now. Then here's Vessier side by side then with TK into the 22 and 23 chicane. He's done it. He's back up in a second. Remember, Vessier is currently at the moment in time he is second in the World Championship. This is very early in the World Championship. We've got 22 races in the World Championship this season, but of course with Dr. Troop's not racing here tonight, and Dynamite Dan's got some fire in his belly tonight, and he's going up the inside of the Red Bull. No dice. But TK is going to go back on the outside here. Dynamite Dan's going to be aware of TK here. He is. That is a big smash in the background. And it is Kiki. Smithy has gone off as well then. And goodness me. And I'm sure there's going to be damage on those cars. Well, no, there isn't. And Serious Mushroom getting out of the way then. Serious Mushroom's got a problem, has he? There's a problem with the battery of Serious Mushroom because he's cruising here. And Alibi down him to a 16th position then as well. I don't believe it. None of those drivers have got damage there. I am absolutely beside myself with that. New Potato has lost almost a second last time we was looking at New Potato. Goodness me. And here comes New Potato. Then there's a look at us. And it's all over the back now. We have got a very unusual start here in bronze. That's going to catch a lot of drivers unaware. But it's now about refocusing and re-energizing yourself. And Vessier is already doing that as well. A Grand Prix winner. Can he become a 2-time winner here tonight? What about New Potato? I think he's a 5-time champ. 5-time race winner at the moment in bronze, isn't he? The first ever bronze champion. And Vessier, though, would love to win it here this season. I think New Potato had some technical gremlins towards the end of the season, which cost him promotion. But this season, he is reinvigorated. But what about Vessier? He's also reinvigorated as well, then. And here he goes, and through the fast kink of the chicane of 22 and 23, blasted out then. DRS will be on the money in the next lap. Then no DRS yet, then, but Vessier is going for the lead. He's having a look there. But the Ferrari, then, hasn't got anything. He parks himself right in the middle of the circuit. Good defense there from New Potato. On the outside goes Luke, then TK is staying on the inside. He's giving him a squeeze, but Luke's having none of it. He had a Formula 1 width of a car on the outside of 27. He took it, and he's up into 4th position. Here comes Higgs now, making his way up into 5th as well. And let me get rid of the tower. He's up the inside. No, he's on the outside. I thought he was going to go up the inside. Not quite then. Luke is in 4th position. Higgs 5th. 6th position is TK at the moment. I'm dribbling there, for goodness me. Keep your composure, Meek. Incredible stuff, man. Wow. I'm going to have a lie down after this. Incredible stuff indeed. We've still got 20 laps to go in this race. So then is now here comes New Potato. Vessier, I think. Oh, is that, look, New Potato, and that's going to be a warning. Surely, remember, you get 3 warnings then before, of course, you get a penalty. Remember that the penalties was very much a highlight in Austria, or a low light in Austria, potentially, in the real world of Formula 1. In ALR, of course, we have to deem those rules all the time. So, yeah, these drivers definitely know about keeping them in track limits, and albeit New Potato was very much stretching that track limit there, wasn't he? We got Duncan Dave currently in 12th position at the moment. One of the drivers that does have penalties already, sick as muck, struggling all the way down in 20th position. The second Aston Martin, sick as muck, is really struggling out there in that Aston Martin car, really not having a good time out there at the moment. Here's Duncan Dave all over the back of Marsky, the battle for 11th and 12th at the moment. No points on offer at the moment, no retirements either just yet then, but as Luke is lost out to Hings here, we got Duncan Dave on the outside, and he has passed Marsky. That is the power of DRS, and that is going to be, I think that's going to be a familiar scene here. Now, New Potato, he cannot defend. Vessier takes the lead. That is a replay from 2022 between Leclerc and Verstappen, but we've also got a rogue Haas in there as well. It's Dynamo Dad up into second position, passes the Ferrari, and away he goes. Magnificent stuff indeed then. Kaz said Swanshanks up 4 positions. Good job. Swanshanks is up into 10th position. Now, great stuff indeed for the Aston Martin car. And Ferrari was up the circuit there of New Potato. That's the second time in 2 laps for New Potato, and he is pushing the Haas car as hard as possible, as Diamond down with a beautiful helmet design there, coming out of the air pit. And Vessier, did he hit the wall? We see the other stuff of obviously. Oh, goodness me. And New Potato gave him a bit of a smooch there, and I'm not sure if he wanted that here in Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure if he's damaged he's got all these end plates in the right direction, but I think he had a snap, didn't he? Out of the hairpin. And here's New Potato. He retakes the lead into the DRS of 22 and 23, or 21 and 22. Somewhere Vessier is coming back out of there, and look at this, and this is what this circuit provides. Fast and furious action now. Dynamo Dan's boxed in. Here comes Vessier on the outside. Dynamo Dan on the inside. It's going to be free abreast into 27. Not quite then. As they come out of turn 27 then. Vessier then, can he replay what he did just a lap ago and retake the lead here in Saudi Arabia? He does indeed. He is back into the lead there with New Potato back down into second position then. We've also got TK getting past Luke and up into 5th position on the hard compound tyres, of course. Oh my word! Fantastic battling. You have to get out of DRS range around here, don't you? To feel safe, don't you? Here at the moment, then, as we're on board now with the Ferrari of New Potato. And I thought he was on that curb. Then, of course, that curb is slight. It's quite, and that's the third time New Potato has gone off there. It's going to be a bit of obvious new part of the circuit there for New Potato, but he's had no. I don't think he hasn't had a penalty or anything, has he, just yet? But New Potato is about half a second back from Vessier at the moment now. Vessier is looking stronger in the first sector, especially in that final part of the first sector as well, where he seems to carry a lot more speed, doesn't he? Now we're in the DRS range. So this is where the slipstream becomes a proper. Oh my goodness me! It really becomes a proper battle, isn't it? Now the second half of the race. Look at this at the top three. Oh my goodness me! A New Potato and Dynamo Dan almost touching out at 22. And now then, New Potato's on the outside. Vessier, he's going to try and get the DRS, so he has it down the pit straight here. Very wild. That's a very wildly manoeuvre there for Vessier, but it is still a Ferrari of New Potato that's got it on board. The New Potato has taken the lead. Vessier is going to be down into second position once again. And Dynamo Dan is braking. He is through, but Vessier is on the outside then. And Dynamo Dan, I think, braked a bit earlier now, didn't he? There, I think a bit cautious into turn one, and that cost him maybe the lead and potentially second position as well. As we've got Vintage who fighting with Item now into 8th position there. Vintage jumped down to 9th on those soft tyres, as I think there's Vintage to be hoping for another safety car, albeit we had an odd safety car at the beginning of this race. We've had a rolling start here tonight there, which I must say, looks okay at the moment there, because we've got all 20 cars left in this race still, which is good stuff indeed. New Potato's got an 8/10 of a second gap here now. As Vessier, I keep thinking that Vessier is going to straight line now to hairpin there, but goodness gracious me then, as Mitzi Matt then, we got Kiki's got 3-second penalty, Scuba Shoe for 3-second penalty as well. Mitzi Matt, come on Stu, and Stu down in its 19th position at the moment now, second back in the Alpine now. We have got Dynamo Dan. These guys are almost out of DRS from New Potato, and now Dynamo Dan is up in the second position there. Vessier has had an appalling second sector here, but they're still just about in DRS range of New Potato. But this, look at the gap that New Potato's got. This is crucial, and he's almost doing a lot of harvesting in that Ferrari. Down into 27 we go then. Magnificent stuff indeed then. Accelerated away then. And Mitsuba is Con is doing well. Brackets Potato, of course, New Potato's first ever race in the ALR was under Con, wasn't it? Good stuff indeed. But now New Potato in the New Potato machine is leading this way. Then TK making his way up in the full position. A strong opening stint for TK, and remember, he is on the hard compound tyres, of course, and we haven't mentioned that yet, have we? As we've been watching these top three, who have not been getting away as much as they would have liked. They've only got a 3.5 second gap over the over TK at the moment. Now that is crucial. Higgs is also on the hard tyre as well. So is Slayer. And those drivers then, we've got a lot of penalties there. All of a sudden, starting to rain down on these drivers here. As I'm so enthralled in this battle at the front, I'm trying to keep an eye on all the way down there. Mushroom and Smithy has got past Duncan Dave and up into 14th and 13th position respectively. But I'd say that Duncan Dave is back in front of Serious Mushroom. Good. I would say good stuff, but we didn't really see it. Dynamo Dan has touched the outside Armco. I don't think it's going to damage it, but surely going to lose the momentum. But he's now got DRS again, and it's so difficult. Look at the gap, and it's back down to 0.4 of a second, 0.3 of a second now. That gap was up to 0.9 of a second last time around here. But that just shows how difficult it is, isn't it, just to break out the DRS. Yellow flag. We got a problem there. Duncan Davis in the wall, and the Williams driver, that's a huge crash there, and he's just trying to get himself going. Yellow flag then in sector 2. Kiki is crawling as well then, and there's I'm not sure if it is linked then, but Kiki also crawling as well. No, who is that then? Sick as Muck then struggling out there, is he? I'm not sure. Sick as Muck has got a handling problem on that Aston Martin, but he hasn't looked like on the pace right from the get-go here this event, has he? Goodness gracious me. The prancing potato Tango is saying he is prancing about now, and he is doing a lovely drive in this race on there, but he cannot get rid of these two drivers behind him at the moment. As Slayer has got past Higgs then. Higgs is down into 6th position now, and goodness me then, as I've wondered if he's made an oversight there. That's going to lose a position. That's the problem with those curbs then, and he goes off at it. Oh goodness me, and almost into the barrier there, and Higgs has had a very costly opening sector here as they look at that. Potatoes out of DRS range now. In the lead of this Grand Prix, and who's that? Kiki is changing the nose cone here. Duncan Dave also in the pits well, as is Sick as Muck. So the drivers at the back of the field are unfortunately having issues then in this race at the moment. And as we're just watching the top three once again, Sick as Muck is out of pit and quit there. I think it may be then. Sick as muck there was just was out off the pace, wasn't it? And well, he's pitted and quitted, and the car's just parked in the pit lane. I hope that no one needs to come in the pits just yet. We've seen that in the British Grand Prix last year. Someone pitted and quitted, and unfortunately, cost I can't remember who it costed now, but it was it ruined their race almost, didn't it? Sick as muck out of the Grand Prix there. He was just struggling with handling problems, wasn't he? Sick as muck there. He had no pace at all in the Aston Martin there, which is very unusual for Sick as muck, as he does seem to come alive during the race. Slayer, who's doing a great start to this season, isn't he? And he is now up into 4th position there. Vintage is now in 8th position as well, and in front of Vitamizar in the Ferrari. Lovely stuff indeed then. And look at this as we're on board the Red Bull. Look, the gap is over a second now. Vessier and the front three are now starting to spread out ever so slightly here. I think Vessier would like it to get back in DRS race. I think Dynamo Dan is going to definitely try and get back past him, because look, Dynamo Dan could certainly have the advantage of Vessier going out of the chicane and going into the final sector as well. Then I really need to learn the corner names around here, don't I, to be honest? New Potato leads now by a second. Yes, there it is. He's got the, that is the most important part now. He has got the DRS detection zone. Oh, well, did he though? I was looking at the map to see what the detection zone was. Has Vessier got it? And has he just had a spurt? No, it's not enough. And that is crucial. The DRS is very important around this circuit. And look at that. Number Dan then is now starting to hunt down his target if he can. He'll have DRS again then. Vessier, I think, will be using a lot of ERS then. I think that this is a very ERS dependent circuit. So we get the graphic up later on in this race, but as for the time being, and they're all starting to concertina back up actually, aren't they? TK all over the back of Slayer here. I think he'll have a chance down into turn 1 on the Mercedes. The final turn then for the Williams driver. None of the runners are coming to the pits just yet. Then Slayer trying to defend it. I think that he's got enough of an advantage there. I think TK is struggling for straight line speed down that back straight, which is surprising. Luke on the medium tires, but Vintage is coming to the pits. He's had a great innings on those soft tires. I'm very impressed there with Vintage, and he's into the pits now then as the Alpha Tower mechanics then are getting ready in the pit lane. We've also got some Aston Martin mechanics ready as well, so now onto the medium tires then for Vintage, then out of the pit lane. Great stuff indeed, well drilled there for the Alpha Tower mechanics then. Well, New Potato was out of DRS range, but all of a sudden he is slotted back into DRS range now, as we have got Swan Shanks and Scooby Stew out very close there. Scooby Stew getting a handful of opposite lock there in the Alpine car, and in at 12th position there, he is behind Swan Shanks at the moment. We've also got Cirrus Mushroom, who pitted a lap or two before, and it's in 16th position there for Cirrus Mushroom there, but unfortunately out the points at the moment. Back at the front at the moment then, it is between Vessier and New Potato on board with the Red Bull driver as we fling through the fast chicane. And I think it's TK we're going to have to be keeping an eye on, because look, as the Williams driver is all over the back of the Mercedes once again. Slayer going ever so slightly wide there, but I think he's letting the car drift, and he wants the car to have a large turning circle in the Mercedes. On board with TK once again, and he's going for it. He's on, look, he's going to go on the outside into 27. Here he goes, and on the outside he has done it. Great manoeuvre there for TK. I don't expect these drivers to be in for another several laps or so. The top three now 7 seconds in front then. Well, just so I say that, TK has rolled the dice and come to the pits. Remember last season there was a couple of strategical calls that it definitely raised a few eyebrows in the paddock, but he's in the pits once again. TK is I was expecting to be in a lot later than this, but this could be an undercut of the century here for the Williams driver there. Williams are throwing the curveball in here, pulling the trigger, and he is coming out of the pits now, and that is beautiful for TK, isn't it there? This is going to catch the drivers in front very unaware. Can TK there put in a few good laps, and the medium tires are going to be very much heated up then. Getting heated up tires, and is crucial in this race. And I wonder if TK could actually jump the top three. That's a 7-second buffer. I think that is a difficult task, but it is certainly a task which TK is going to be up for. And it also depends on how much these drivers are fighting and really struggling. Fighting and really struggling to keep the pace up there as well. Vessier then not all over the back now, is he? Because I think Dynamo Dan, Vessier lost a lot of momentum there, didn't he? And Dynamo Dan is now coming back out. Vessier, of course, Vessier at this moment in time will lead the Bronze Championship, but I think he wants to win this race. I don't think anyone will be thinking about the championship just yet. Well, I say that, but it's very difficult not to when you're leading, especially even at this early stage of the championship. Is anyone going to come into the pits? No. Dynamo Dan has, though. Dynamo Dan has pulled the trigger as well, then coming into the pits and slowing down to the pit lane speed limiter, looking for those Haas mechanics. So Vessier's having a look then into turn 1, and goodness me, they're very close, but the Haas mechanics are in the pits onto the hard tires now for Dynamo Dan. We'll keep an eye on that one. Then back at the front is Red Bull and Ferrari then are fighting them tooth and nail at the moment. Lap 14, we're over half distance in this race. This race is flying by, goodness me. I'm earning my bang for my buck, so to speak. Then where is New Potato then? Well out in front of TK. So TK though, that gap is down to 6 seconds then. So 6.5 seconds then to be precise then. So he has gained slightly then. Out of the pits comes Higgs as well then. This is going to get very interesting indeed, I think then. But yes, Vintage and TK then are going for an undercut here. I think that unfortunately TK was possibly too far back, but let's see when there's New Potato and Vesh come to the pits. I think though, with Dynamo Dan coming in the pits, coming to the pits, that's going to trigger Vessier and New Potato to come to the pits now. Surely, lovely onboard footage here from Swanshanks there, as Alibi is Alibi just in front of us here, but Swanshanks all over the back of the Red Bull, and he's going for it. He's going on the outside of Alibi, and can Swanshanks make it? He can. He dances on the outside, takes track position, and Alibi, who's done 13 laps on the medium tires and just hasn't got the tools for the job. Smithy might also in the heart of this battle as well, as this battle is going to get very contact, I think, between Higgs and Alibi. Alibi has not got the traction like these drivers on the new medium tyres there, and that may have caught out Higgs there, and that's actually lost of position now with Smithy Almighty up into the top 10 here. Serious Russian getting past Marsky as well. Into the pits comes Vessier. Vessier is on the soft tyres there. Vessier is on the soft tyres. Slayer takes the lead of the Grand Prix, and here comes Dynamo Dan as well. Dynamo Dan takes the lead of the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. New Potato out in third position. Vessier out in fourth then. TK has got the gap down to just 3 seconds there, so they had to respond, didn't they? Higgs has now passed Alibi. Alibi's in the pits now. We've got Smithy Almighty on the inside of Swanshanks at the inside, and it takes 8th position. Good stuff indeed. Swanshanks is down to 9th. New Potato's got a 3-second penalty. That is costly in this race, I feel. Let's see how this one transpires. And Higgs has forced himself through there ever so slightly. I think that gap may have always been closing. Swanshanks are getting snuffed out there. Goodness gracious me. Is getting very fraught in the midfield as well as at the front. My golly gosh here. As the sparks flying off of that McLaren at the moment. Right, one retirement after 15 laps around here. Sickles Mac out of the race, and we think it's handling issues on the Aston Martin. Aston Martin currently in miserable start to ALR Season 9, isn't it? Unfortunately, Swanshanks currently in 10th position at the moment. But I do feel that the likes of Winnie and Co behind him are going to be quite quick. But Swanshanks might be able to hold his own, to be honest, actually. I think that Swanshanks has a very good... I've just dribbled everywhere. Swanshanks has a very good opportunity here, I think, of getting some points for the Aston Martin. But let's watch this space then. Slayer into the pits, and I think it's the last of the runners to come into the pits, make a scheduled stop then. And he is in 4th position at the moment then, but he is going to be quite a long way back from TK, I think. Then here comes Vessier on the soft tyre now. So Dynamo Dan coming in the pits a lap earlier than these drivers has gone for the undercut here. That has been crucial, and currently at the moment then that is what he's seen in the race at. Has he got the pit, and he's broke the DRS as well then, so that is crucial in this race. Luke is out just in front of Slayer, and soft tires to the end of the race then. I must say, do you think they're going to get to the end of the race on the soft tires? I'm not sure personally. Maybe they will, but it's going to be a stretch then, as TK, I think we just seen him cutting across that pesky turn 11 there. Watching Vessier on soft tires. He needs to get past the New Potato quickly as possible. New Potato with a 3-second penalty as well, which is just, I think, played into the hands of Dynamo Dan here. Dynamo Dan has 4 Grand Prix wins in bronze in his career. Can he get a 5th one here tonight then, which would be very much about a strategical call from himself and the Haas team over his former team in terms of the Ferrari, and I think he'd be very happy with that. And New Potato then very aggressive into that 22 and 23 chicane here. Oh gosh, I'm going to cough. There he goes, Vessier then. Not quite, I thought he was going, but he isn't yet, and he's going to stay back slightly. He's going to stay back slightly then, come out the final turn, and then he is going to have a go into turn 1. And here he comes then, DRS wide open then for the Red Bull. He is alongside the Ferrari, and he passes the Ferrari and moves himself up into third position. TK is 6 seconds back now. I'm wondering if, I don't think he made a mistake, did he? Potentially the timing was slightly wrong then. Higgs has got past Smithy Almighty. Smithy Almighty had a glance and blow the outside wall there. He looked very wide, but he does have DRS. Hungry Stars is back past Marsky as well, who's down in 15th position at the moment there. So Smithy Almighty in 9th as it stands there, but he was too far back. I think he lost too much momentum out of that final turn, didn't he? So the gap is down to 1.1 seconds now. Can Vester go for a second Grand Prix win of his career in the Red Bull? He has gone onto the soft tyres here. I do think that the soft tyres are going to struggle in the next couple of laps time here. And I do think that but having said that, we've seen Vintage do 10 laps on those soft tyres, so they should be able to get to the end. But I do think that the hard runners will have the pace advantage there. It is from Vester. So Vester has got to make hay whilst the sun is shining now. Well, the sun is not shining anymore, though, is it? Because, of course, the day has turned into night here tonight there, which has been, apart from that unusual safety car start, of course, the first time I ever had a rolling start in ALR, I've got to say, oh, goodness me, and just as I say that, has something gone wrong for Kiki? It has gone wrong. He has to peril around then, as he's still got a front wing on that Alpha Tower by the looks of things, but Kiki down in 17th position there, as Vester set the fast out race, half a second away from Dynamo Dan, and Kiki off the circuit and going well off the circuit there. Kiki he's lost the end plate. Kiki has it, unfortunately, so problems there for the AlphaTauri, which is a shame then for Kiki, and yeah, that's an unscheduled stop now. Vester is now on the soft tyres and up into now 4 times a second away. I'm wondering if Vester felt that he didn't have any option but to go to soft tyres, just because of how much Dynamo Dan gained when he went for the undercut here. Serious Mushroom fighting with Winnie. Winnie on the medium tyres. Serious Mushroom on the hard compound tyres. Serious Mushroom going up the inside here, and he is now up in the 12th position. Passes the Mercedes. Now here comes Styles also behind him as well. Then in 12th, 13th, and 14th, and Styles going underneath. And Swanshank's got a 3-second penalty. That is going to cost him. Unfortunately for Swanshanks, that may cost him the points here, and Dynamo Dan is out, lost the lead there because Vester is through. Kiki out of the race, unfortunately, and he has come to the pits to retire. So Dynamo Dan has gone from first to third in the twinkling of an eye here. And now then, you can see that Vester is on the soft tyres, and he's going to try and sprint away now as the Kiki out of the race, and 2 retirements then in this Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, but no crashes so far. But Kiki, unfortunately, having a disappointing end then to his event here tonight. Vester leads 4/10 second. He needs to get out there. He needs to use that. What does he need to do? He needs to use the purchase he's got on those soft tyres to pull away from these two. But Dynamo Dan has gone from first to third, and it was looking quite commanding for Dynamo Dan just a lap or two ago. All of a sudden, it's completely turned on its head here. That is how exciting this race has been. And Styles all over the back of Winnie here, and Winnie is struggling. He's losing time, hand over fist, and Styles has gone through past the Mercedes driver up into 30 position there. I wonder if Winnie there is carrying an issue or something in that Mercedes at the moment now. But dropping down to 40 position there for Winnie. Into the pits comes Swanshanks here. So Swanshanks only done 6 laps on those hard tyres there. So issues for the Aston Martin. Both Aston Martins. TK's got a 3-second penalty, and he's only 5/10 second in front of Luke then now. Swanshanks into the pits. He's gone on soft tyres now to the end of the race there, but that's disappointing for Swanshanks, isn't it? What about New Potato? Remember, New Potato does have a 3-second penalty. So as it stands then, Vester leads with Dynamo Dan in second position now. But Vester has got the soft tyres on, and of course I'm expecting them to fall off the cliff here. Yellow flag in 1 here. What's happened in 1 then? I don't know, to be honest. I think it might be Kiki's car just getting out of the way, potentially. I think so. Back here, here is New Potato, and he is going out the inside of Vester. So soft tyres gone off for the boil already here. I'm not sure, but Vester on the outside, keeping it straight and true. Here's Dynamo Dan now coming across the line, and my goodness me, it is free abreast, and Dynamo Dan was boxing there, he couldn't go anywhere. Vestier leads, Dynamo Dan in second position now, or is he? Or is he? Yes, no, he isn't. It's New Potato still in second position. New Potato knows that he needs to stretch his legs, so lap 20 of this race, and Slayer has got past Luke, moved himself up into 5th position. Now Luke is, Luke is still on the pace here, isn't he, because they're under the 3-second buffer now between himself and TK, who's having a very strong race. TK is there, but he'd be disappointed about that newness off the circuit there. And Dynamo Dan is back up into second position, but Vessier has broken the DRS here. So that is crucial in this Grand Prix, I feel. Let's see, though. Let's see, because I've been saying that's crucial for all the time in this race, and it has been absolute poppycock, hasn't it, here tonight? Winnie into the pits now then, and this is a very frantic race, isn't it? Goodness gracious me, as now Winnie in and out, shaking all about then here, as so Winnie there, who's on the soft tire as well. I'm surprised Swan Shank's getting the pits. He must have had damage, surely. A yellow flag in one, as someone's had an issue. It's Styles off the circuit, and that's the whole of the win gone from the McLaren. It's a VSC here, and I don't think that's going to benefit anyone, to be honest, because I think that I think everyone that wants to make a stop have made a stop then, but Hungry Styles down in 14th position there, and disappointed there, but Swanshank's in the pits again then, so Swanshank's there has got a new set of boots then, it's gone a bit peak tongue, unfortunately, for Swanshank's. It's not helping New Patel now, and it's not helping New Patel. This may help Vessier though, but let's see how long this BSC is going to be out for. It's a good opportunity to take stock in this race. Vestier leads on the 6-lap soft tires. Dynamo Dan second with New Potato third. New Potato has a 3-second penalty. TK, well, I misspoke there because TK is coming into the pits now. Styles out of the race, and is that going to be a full safety car with just a handful of laps to go? Safety car is still parked here. Don't think it's a drive-through penalty for Jay Higgs and for speeding under the safety car. Soft tires for TK as he comes out of the pits now. Safety car, well, the VSC just went in almost instantly when Styles crashed, and we're down to 17 runners and riders in this race. And now Vessier leads. The gap is up to a second now. Dynamo down second. New Potato in third position. We've been taking, this has been a very incredible race, and for the top three, hasn't it? Fast and furious. The top three are in a league of their own at the moment, aren't they? The gap is 8 seconds between themselves and Slayer. Luke in fifth position. Oh, goes through a TK contact with Vintage, who's having a very strong drive here, but that could have ended quite horrifically here, but Vintage still driving superbly well, but TK all over the back of Vintage, and TK is going to get past Vintage now. Where is Vintage? Of course, TK, who is driving the car that Vintage drove last season in the Williams team, and now TK in the AlphaTauri down in 7th position there. The driver behind him is Jay Higgs, who does have a drive-through penalty then, unfortunately for speeding under the VSC. I wonder if he mistimed it then. It's very easy to do on this game, isn't it? Same with last game as well. It gives you an instant drive-through penalty, even if you're minutely over the delta when it goes green. Watching New Potato's got absolutely no ERS left in him whatsoever, has he? He is very much a rinse in that ERS, isn't he, so to speak here. 4 laps to go in this race. Vestier still leads, but these are going to be a long 4 laps right. There's 27 turns around this course. It's the second longest course on the F1 calendar, or is it third? I think it's second or third, isn't it? I can't remember. But it's a long lap, this one is around here. Oh, it's New Potato again going over that curve, and losing. Look at how much time he's lost by going over that curve. Almost half a second now. This is crucial in his challenge for second here for New Potato then. But New Potato currently third in the Ferrari at the moment. I wonder if he might just be, I think that New Potato, he's not a man who settles for second though, is he? I don't think New Potato is in there, but I must say that that those points will be quite crucial, I think, in his challenge for the championship this season. Higgs on board with now. This race is falling apart, quite spectacular, unfortunately for the Alfa Romeo driver. Vestier leads at the moment. Now, driver of the day is out. And then get your votes coming in. Vestier and Dynamo down on 50% at the moment. There, that is your driver of the day votes at the moment. And Vintage also involved in that driver of the day as well. Into the pits comes Scooby Stew. 8 laps on those soft tyres. Vestier is coming up to doing 8 laps on these tyres as well. We've seen Vintage do 10 laps on the tyres earlier on in this race, didn't he? So that, I think, is... so Vessier is going to have to do an extra couple of laps or so. In front of us is one of the Aston Martin drivers, Swanshank. So this race has unravelled quite badly for him and the Aston Martin team, unfortunately. Both Aston Martins not scoring again. It's a nightmare start for the British Racing Green in the world of ALR this season. Higgs is back up into 7th position there, but I don't think Vintage is going to be too concerned by that, because Vintage knows the car in front of him has to drive through penalty then as well, then, as TK has set the fast out the race then, so that'll be an extra point for him in the Williams. Steven to the pits comes Jay Higgs then. What a shame for him then. He's going to be very unhappy with that, I'm sure, Vince. Got Vintage on 20% now, 40% for Vessier and Dynamo Dan. Scuba Shoe's got a 3-second penalty in the background. That's one of the Alpines there. That's Scuba Shoe just getting out of the way at this moment. And Itemizer is out in 9th position. Where's Jay Higgs? Is he going to get? Is Serious Rush going to get out in front of his teammate here? Not quite. Then Higgs is out in 10th, and Mushroom in the 11th position at this moment in time. Then New Potato is brushing the Armco there. That's not what he wants there for New Potato, is it? Goodness me, that's going to not help his car whatsoever. He is still he is safe at the moment. Now he's got he hasn't got a 2-second buffer. He's got quite a nice buffer between himself and Slayer. And Slayer could have had 2 podiums in a row here tonight then, but unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, if someone goes major run for the top 3, he's going to be 4th. But that is very good consistency there from Slayer in the opening the opening 2 races here tonight. Fantastic stuff indeed. That Higgs very quick, isn't he? He's all over the back of the second Ferrari of Itemizer already. Itemizer on the hard tyres and Higgs is on the medium compound tyres at the moment. Gap in the front is a 2.5 seconds. Vessier is making those soft tyres work. Absolutely incredible there. I had my doubts, to be honest, Ed, but I have certainly been put in my place. That is why I am not a strategist by any stretch of imagination. And a brilliant stuff indeed there for Vessier. And I think that some drivers there would be surprised that the Red Bull went on soft tyres. We're going to be even more surprised that Vessier is now extending his gap. And then Vessier going for a 2nd Grand Prix win of his career. And he is going to take the lead in the World Championship as well, with 2nd in Bahrain. And a win at and currently leading this race moment, but he's still got a lap and a half to do around here. And that is a very long lap and a half as well. Duncan Dave down in a 15th position there. Itemizer has just been passed. Slayer's got a 3-second penalty, and that is going to be a crucial and cruel blow, because I think Luke might get himself up into 4th here. And the pass is Slayer. That's unfortunate for Slayer. That is cruel, isn't it? Unfortunately for Slayer, and he's going to drop down to 5th. And just watching as Luke's got a 3-second penalty as well. So status quo then, actually, there for those drivers then. So I think that's so it went from horror to delight for Slayer then, and it went from delight to horror for Luke. Unfortunately, all those drivers getting 3-second penalties then. Just on board with Vessier now. The gap is down to 1.2 seconds, and those soft tyres starting to struggle then with just 1 lap to go here as Vessier comes across the line. And no DRS just yet, but this could be the last corner where this race decided that pressure on then for the young man Vessier in the Red Bull. Remember, he won the last race of the season in bronze last season, a statement of intent then for the bronze championship this season, and he certainly certainly carried on that momentum in Bahrain just a week ago. We come in 2nd then as Higgs and Itemizer is off the circuit, and that's a huge crash there for Itemizer. That is going to be no points for him in the Ferrari. Unfortunately, New Potato's going to have points, but not for Itemizer, and I'm not sure what happened there. But Serious Russian's in 10th position there. Higgs is in 9th position for the Alfa Romeo team, but that is bitterly disappointing there for Itemizer. It's just a lap away from getting a point then for himself. And I'm wondering then if the Dynamo Dan is probably going to be more concerned about the driver behind him now, because Vessier does have a 1.3 second gap. Then as long as he's out of DRS range on this straight here, well, anything but a straight really, isn't it? It's a kinky straight. If he because he didn't have any attack from DRS there, I think he should be home and dry. I think then we got yellow flag in the background there. And it is TK crawling. TK is crawling. There's issues for the Williams there. Oh no, and TK could be, that's going to be a blow for TK. He was going to get a very nice 6th position there, but that is not going to be the case, I don't think, if he don't speed up. Vessier wins the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, his 2nd win of the season there for Vessier. Sorry, his 2nd win of his career for Vessier. What a drive there. And went onto the soft tires, and he made that strategy work to perfection. That was the difference today. Vessier went onto the soft compound tires then, which has got himself a brilliant win today and an absolutely fantastic performance for Vessier. His 2nd Grand Prix win of the season. Really well done indeed then for Vessier. His 2nd win of his career. His 1st win of the season. 2 podiums on the 2 podiums to start his championship campaign off as well for Vessier. Mega stuff indeed. Aston Masters there. GG. Very good stuff for Aston Masters. Very good stuff. Aston Masters there. Impressed, I think then. Serious Motion gets 9th in the end. TK just about finishes in the top 10, but issues then on the final lap there for TK. What a shame there for the Williams driver. That is a bitter blow then. Itemizer will also be a bit gutted about this one then as well. Well, apart from that very unusual safety car start, that was a very clean and precise race there, wasn't it? Very impressive indeed. A very quick race as well. Goodness gracious me. Absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Slayer and the GG top 3, they did a very good job today. Slayer in 4th position and continuing a strong start to his campaign this season as well. Good stuff indeed. Vintage on his 50th start today in a brilliant 6th position as well. Fantastic. Smith and Mighty strong 7th with the 2 Alfa Romeos, 8th and 9th, and it didn't look too good with just a couple laps to go, but they salvaged 5 points here today in Saudi Arabia. Aston Masters softs actually worked 9 laps on the softs for the win then. I gotta say, I wasn't sure about that, but Vessier, well, that was perfection. And we've seen with Vintage as well, he made the softs work right at the beginning as well. Did 10 laps on the soft tyres, Vintage did, and they went to mediums to the end of the race as well. So I'm wondering if Vessier's seen that, or maybe Vessier knew about the strategy right from the get-go. He did his homework, and that's possibly what got him the Grand Prix win here tonight then. As we spray a bit of the bubbly on the podium then, and what is a very good win then for Vessier. That is his 2nd win of his career, his 1st win of the season, his 2nd win in 3 races there for Vessier as well. He's on tip-top form. He's won a race, he's been 2nd, and he's won another. What an impressive run of form that Vessier's on the moon. Let's take a final look at the classification then from the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. What a great race that was indeed then. I must say that was a very quick race. Just under 40 minutes. Goodness gracious me, who flew by that one? Vessier, winner today in Saudi Arabia. Important win as well for Vessier. He takes the lead in the World Championship. Magnificent. 2nd position, Dynamo Dan. Great drive for Dynamo Dan. New Potato, 3rd in the end then from pole position. And that 3-second penalty may have cost him. 4th position for Slayer. It's continuing a strong start to the season. Luke in 5th. A Vintage on his 50th start. Great in 6th position there. Smith in 7th. Higgs in 8th position. Even with a drive-through penalty, what could have been? 9th was Serious Motion, 10th was TK, damaged on the final lap. 11th Winnie, Itemizer and 12th, damaged on the final lap as well. Marsky 13th, Alibi 14th, Duncan Day 15th, Swanshank 16th, Scooby Shoo 17th. Retirements was Styles, Kiki and Sick and Smoke out of the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Well, I must say that was pretty impressive stuff indeed then. And shockingly enough, I've forgotten to see who is in the party. I think that we may have some very happy drivers in the party tonight, then, which is very good stuff indeed. Let me just make sure I've got everyone. And I think I've just seen Vessier jump into the party as well. Oops. Vessier, what a drive today. You've been absolutely superb. And I think the turning point of the race, though, was those soft tires at the end then. Can you tell us about that?
I knew some people in F2 wanted to try the medium soft strategy as it last did, so I attempted that, but yeah, good battle with New Potato and Dynamo Dan.
It really was indeed. Then, of course, it was very much you three was absolutely running away with this race, and at the opening rounds as well. That you just all of you just swapping positions left, right, centre. How difficult was it to determine what was the best place to be on the track? Because it seemed to be that none of you wanted to lead the race at one stage.
Um, well, yeah, I was just sitting in P2, P3, just trying to save ERS later for the race. I could see Nude Potato and Dynamo Dan flashing midway through, so that kind of benefited me towards the end.
And it certainly did. And of course, as we mentioned, when you came in the pits and threw on those soft tyres, and then I feel that race really came alive for you. And when you seen your two rivals, Dynamo Dan and New Potato, going on hard tyres, was that the moment where you thought, this is my race to lose?
Yeah, because I thought 10 laps on hard is a bit short. If they did hards at the start, did about 15 laps on them, and then did about 10 on the mediums, they would have probably been more towards in the race. Um, First stint was a bit uh, of a mess for me, making quite a few mistakes. But other than that, yeah, um, they both had a great drive, and I can't wait until Australia.
Goodness me, I bet you can't as well, because your race form in the last three races has been a win, a second, and a win. You're now leading the championship in bronze, and you're in absolutely a
Yeah,
rich run of form.
yeah, 4 podiums in the last 4 races as well. So because of China, I think. So
Aha!
yeah,
I don't have my last season
I
spreadsheet open but I don't have the brain power for that, unfortunately. But wait, but I must say that yeah. So with those four podiums as well, then you're in absolutely a rich run of form. Then going into Australia, and you said you can't wait for that. Then going into Australia, then of course it's a bit of a different track to this one. Then the opening couple of races in this season championship very difficult. How have you approached this opening season? It seems like you've done a really good job.
um not much really. I've done a couple laps today for practice. So I did 5 laps on time trial, get a comfortable setup, and then just went for it. And I obviously have F2 in ALR as well, so different car, but you still get practice on the same circuits. So yeah, other than that, not much practice.
Goodness gracious me, well done today, Vester. Brilliant drive indeed. Your second Grand Prix win of your career, and what an amazing run of form you are as well. Then, so that's your, and now you're leading the Bronze Championship. Magnificent stuff indeed. Let's come to, hang on a minute. Donovan Dan, that's it, who was in second. Thank goodness me, this race was too quick for me. Dan, then I feel that was a very solid drive today from fourth on the grid, and goodness me, you guys are just swapping, changing positions then. But again, it looked like that it was going to be all down to the pit stops. You rolled the dice. You came in first then, and that undercut there seemed to work as you came out a second in front of those your two rivals. Then, talk us about that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anyone to try the softs, so I thought they were just trying to push the stint as far as possible. I had the DRS on the back of them, which was dragging me along, but I know the undercut's quite powerful in this game, so I thought I'd try it, but unfortunately it was about a second out in the end. But it was the most intense 25 laps I think in my ALR career, that's for sure. And I think at one point I nearly flew into the back of Vessier when he had a bit of a scribbly back end in one of the first few laps.
It certainly was intense as well. You guys didn't even have a break really, apart from that very unusual safety car at the start. There's only a VSC as well. Was you hoping for some kind of safety car or anything like that, just to give you a respite? Because you said it was intense there.
Yeah, just before I was pitting, I stayed out another lap just to see if there was going to be an actual proper safety car, but surprisingly, there wasn't one. I thought it'd be quite a few in this track because I think myself, I hit the wall a couple of times just clipping it. So I know it's a hard track for everyone to finish, but yeah, everyone seemed to have done well and got around the circuit.
When you hit the wall, did you get any damage at all, or was that just glancing blows?
No, it was about 3 or 4 glancing blows, which luckily I survived. I was more worried about the tyres than the body work because I think after about lap 9, the car just felt completely different and you'd have to let off around the bends just to get round them. Whereas the first few laps, you could just full accelerate round them.
That's what you have to do around here. Just a glance of blow. Well done today, Dynamo Dan. Brilliant second today.
Thank you.
And New Potato, you got your You've got I can't know what pole position you had now. I think it was your sixth one, but you got pole position. A pretty formidable lap then in qualifying. Can you remember back that far? Because I'm struggling.
Ah, it was good, I enjoyed that one. That was great. I adjusted my tire pressures for the race and I had no top end speed at all. Those boys were just reining me in. But I enjoyed it. It was a great battle. And then I got the silly 3 second penalty and then I just knew it was game over.
Yeah, we seen that as well. I bet you was absolutely devastated. Where'd you get that penalty? Was it the end of the at the end of the first sector? Because we've seen you scamper and
Yeah.
across there a couple of times.
Um, I don't know what happened in the last 10 laps. I was just catching that bad curve. No, it goes the fast right, then the sharp left. I just catching that curve there and it was pulling me across. Don't know why or what was happening. It got me 2 or 3 times. Then I lost time to the front two, and that was it. I was just hold third and it's points.
We seen the Vessia going out on the soft tires. Then we heard Donovan Dan was quite surprised to see the someone going on soft tires. Was you surprised as well because
I,
you went to the hards?
to be honest, I was going to go soft. I was in the party chat with Idemizer. I go, well, I'll go soft. I was like, fuck, it might be a bit of a stretch. And I just no, I'll just stay to my own strategy. And then I seen Visor come out in soft, and I went, I've just effed up.
And when you said that, did you think that was the end of the race? Because I must admit,
Yeah,
up here in the commentary box, I didn't think they was going to go 10 laps.
I thought, oh, hopefully I'll run out with two left. But no, but then Dynamo Dan had already got me in at the penalty, so it really didn't matter. But here, it was an enjoyable race, and it was a great battle with those two guys. Enjoyed it.
It certainly was. Well done to all of you today. That was a brilliant race to watch then. Apart from that unusual safety car, which I almost forgot about until just a minute ago, we have had an absolute doozer race, haven't we? That flew by. We've still got one more race to come for here tonight, here in Jeddah, which is not tonight. It is tomorrow. It is Formula 2. I cannot wait for that. We've got the sprint and the feature race tomorrow. So, which Vestier has already mentioned then, so he's raring to go tomorrow night, as am I as well. What a day it's been for bronze today, but we now have Vestier leading the championship in bronze then. Dr. Troops, when he comes back then, it looks like we've got a almighty scrap between those two drivers then. I cannot wait. We'll see you down under in Australia for gold, silver and bronze next week. Unless you want to watch F2 tomorrow night, then we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. But for now, it's ciao for now.